Board of Health meeting at the Southwick Town Hall. It is December 1st, 6 p.m. Hybrid meeting being recorded. Present at the meeting is Sue Braska.
G. Nilsson.
Tricia Sedlow.
Christine Southworth.
Mackenzie Kane.
And Tom Fitzgerald and Alex White are also here, but they're not in this room right this minute.
Okay, so while we're waiting for them, can we review the minutes from
Yes,
the last
please.
meeting?
Yes.
Okay. I just have some very, very minor corrections. Do you have a copy with you, Dee?
I do not.
Okay, I'll leave this for you. I'm just, you know, instead of the pond, or I'm just calling him a lake. You know, under the problem of the E. coli.
I
It
have
says-
I have lots.
You do have lots of
And
corrections?
how come Jean Nielsen made a motion to close the public hearing? We didn't have public hearing.
It should be closed to hearing, not a public hearing. When did I do that? Do you have the correct minute? This is November 17th. What minutes do you have?
November 17th.
Where are you?
I'm on the second page.
To-
Jean Nielsen motion to close the public hearing. Sue Braska second.
You have the wrong set of minutes.
This is what I printed, what was sent to me.
Yeah, this is what the real minutes are. This was one after Dee and I talked about them and corrected them. Those aren't the ones that you have.
They
Is
should have
it-
all been in the folders.
Yeah, no,
Okay, so this is no good then?
yeah. Sue,
I don't have a folder here. I don't have a folder.
remember Dee, you and I corrected a few
Yep.
things, and then Sue apparently didn't have the minutes with the corrections.
Okay.
Mackenzie, what set of minutes do you have?
I was never sent.
Okay.
So I don't have any, at least not from email today.
They plan to do testing, not in the winter. They plan to do testing next year. Right?
Well, what does it say? They
This
plan to
winter.
do this winter.
Yeah.
It should be next season instead of this winter.
Christine, would you like to take a field trip and see where Alex and Tom are, please? Absolutely. We can actually keep this. I got carried away with my blue pen,
Your Bacon and Wilson pen?
make it a mess. I think the final inspection is where he does an inspection, and the certificate of compliance is once he gets all the stuff from the engineer and from the installer, then you get a certificate of compliance.
So there's a difference between the final inspection and then,
I think so, but we'll
Okay.
double check.
okay.
Hi, Jean.
Hello,
Very late. You didn't do like the time. Oh. Hi, Brendan.
just to clarify, Alex,
Hi.
certificate of compliance?
Yeah, COC, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you do a final inspection
Yes,
and then you issue a certificate of compliance.
absolutely.
I just remembered final inspections. I don't remember.
No, you have to get the sign offs from the installer and the
Right,
designer.
right, but I
So
don't
when I
remember
put the COC
listing a minute and the minutes as a certificate of compliance.
Yeah, so if I put the
For
COC,
years.
that also includes doing the final.
You know what, it was just, I think I lumped that in with
Yeah.
final inspection.
Yeah.
That's
Final inspection, if there was a
Now,
problem,
there
they
was a
wouldn't
time-
have issued it. It was
Right.
Same thing, that's all.
right.
CLC is
But,
just.
but wait a minute, I have it here where I do a rough inspection and then I did a final inspection, but there is no COC. So if I put the COC, that means it encompasses everything. I put the proposal constructions permit, meaning I signed off on the plans to go ahead and. do the
So
work.
you did a final inspection, but how come you didn't issue the COC?
Because I
Because
didn't.
Oh,
Huh?
Cause I didn't,
because you don't get the paperwork.
right?
So just because you have a final inspection doesn't mean it's just automatically a CLC. We've had sometimes that never get a CLC because they
Because
never
we're
give us the
waiting-
paperwork.
Because we're waiting for the well completion
Or-
report or
Or on
whatever.
a repair, they never give it to us, and it's not our obligation to chase them down.
Right,
you know?
but that was something from years and years of doing these minutes
Right.
that I've never
CLC,
seen it
yeah.
before.
We,
So it was always just under final
final
inspection.
inspection, yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so these are my corrections. Will you see D to,
yeah, Tuesday when you come on in. I'll have them on my desk, okay?
Okay,
okay, otherwise, I make a motion to accept those minutes with the corrections. The November 17th minutes with the corrections.
Right, and I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
I'm gonna abstain from the vote because I wasn't at the meeting.
Sue, I.
And Jean, I.
Mackenzie, you know that Alex, will be leaving us December 31st.
Oh, nope, sure didn't.
Okay, that, he submitted his resignation on the last meeting.
Okay,
And, I know I'm going out of, order, right, of the agenda. It's gonna be posted on Indeed, do you know, if it's on Indeed now, or do you know how that worked out, Alex?
Nope, I'm waiting for Indeed to confirm. I mean, you saw the email, Sue, so
Yes.
no, it's still pending.
So it's not on Indeed, it's pending for what?
I'm waiting for Indeed to clarify that. I don't know at this time.
Well, you have to set up an account, is that the way it works?
I thought you posted it on DDR already.
That's right, and
So-
so, and then I got a notification saying, and Cindy and I thought I was all set too, until we got a notification saying that it's not posted. I tried to inquire as to why that is, and Indeed said, well, because of the fact that Cindy is the account holder of that, she needs to take care of it. I asked her and she goes, there's nothing wrong with it, I don't see anything issued. It says it's posted, and so she and I reached out to Indeed and they're saying that for some reason I can't do it. It has to be Cindy because she's the account holder or the owner of it. So Cindy suggested that we make a new account, and then I forwarded that to Dee to see if she could work with Cindy to try to set that up. But however, our Board of Health secretary only works 10 hours a week. And she was already at that point, so we need to move that for next week. But the good news that we have an applicant.
You have one,
So we will still try to go ahead and work on that.
and I sent all three of you forward the application today.
You did,
In your
okay.
email,
I
should
have,
have it in your email.
okay, I'll just take a look at it.
I have it.
We jumped around. We don't have anybody for public comment, do we? No. Okay, so we'll go back to that, but let's hear from Tricia and from Christine.
So the monthly report for Southwick, Holland and Granville. In Southwick, I met with the fire chief, the deputy fire chief, the council on aging director, director of health. and Chris and I, to see what we could do with Southwick, and we just learned a little bit. We're gonna work on collaborations when they have events. At that meeting, the deputy fire chief informed me that Southwick Villages was looking, for some interaction with the Board of Health, so we're gonna reach out to them in January, meet with them in January, and
I'm sorry,
See.
who?
Southwick Villages,
Used to be
it's
American Inn.
American,
Oh,
American
American,
Inn.
okay, okay.
They're looking for presentations and different things. As far as the schools, I'm working with the vice principal on the I Decide. I have a call tomorrow with the I Decide representative from the state.
what is that? I decide,
It's like a substance abuse program.
okay,
It's just, I don't know if I mentioned it last meeting, but what happened is the towns that participate in this program are waiting to be trained. So it was kind of like, almost like an unfunded mandate where the state came up with this program, but didn't put into place the training aspect. So they're still waiting on being trained. Then I met with
oh, and who will do the training,
whoever in the state is running this, which I'll probably find out more tomorrow with my call.
okay.
Met with the library, we're gonna do presentations with them. I did set up the Elms College students, which I believe I mentioned last meeting, so they'll be starting with us in January. They're going to be in Southwick at the Council on Aging, 8 times, then they're going to be in the library on 3 occasions, like evening. So they'll do presentations, meet with people, blood pressure, things of that nature. And Cindy is well aware of it, and the seniors are looking forward to the interaction. We also got them into, which Chris can mention, but Blandford and Russell? Russell, right. So Blandford and Russell, there'll be a group going to Blandford and Russell for 12 weeks.
Okay, and who is doing this?
Elms nursing students.
Elms Nursing.
Senior nursing students.
Okay,
Mackenzie, are you involved in that at all?
I still have my contacts there, but I don't currently teach rounds anymore. So no, I mean, I placed them at Noble, but I don't have any other contact other than having them come to our hospital.
All right,
And I worked with Cindy Sullivan on a few different topics. Today I worked with their COVID, they had a COVID clinic and I helped out, so.
so Cindy Sullivan is the director
Of
of
the-
the Council on Aging
Yes,
here?
yes,
Yeah, okay.
correct, yes. For Tolland, I have a coffee hour that I go to that's at the Public Safety Complex on Mondays. I'm gonna go like the first and third Monday of the month. They don't really have a council on aging there. That's kind of like the group meets, the best I can do. I created this newsletter for them, that I'm gonna do a different newsletter every month. And hand out.
nice.
Thank you. Then I met with the Tallinn Library, but they don't have groups that go there anymore, so the library is not really an avenue. What she does do though, is she'll post things on their website if I need, so. Granville, I met with the Granville librarian and they're all in for presentations, and today I set up like a nurse hour with them where I'll go up there one Thursday a month. Like, see if anybody is interested and, get in and work with them. They had their COVID clinic that I set up on November 16th. They had about 27 people. We had a flu clinic in Granville yesterday that I set up. I don't know how many people showed up yet. I'm waiting on the select board in Granville to determine if they want me to do anything at town hall. I said I could do like a nurse hour, I could do like a morning, so we could get, seniors or whatever, because they have no council on aging. And then I offered like even an afternoon, like 3:30 to 4:30, so then I could get the people that work. So they said they were gonna bring it to the select board, and I'm still waiting to hear. As far as Maven, we had a salmonella case that I had to do an investigation on in Southwick. And it actually was a food service worker that had to be excluded. Actually, a health worker under the food service code. So I had to work with getting that person excluded, and it took a little bit, but it worked out, and she ended up getting a negative second stool sample. So we had 6 COVID cases in Southwick in November and 9 influenzas. You've definitely seen more influenzas in the towns now.
How about RSVs? Did they report that?
No,
They don't report it or no, we don't?
No,
have it?
I have not seen an RSP
Okay.
reported. I don't know if the one that's reported, I can look into it. The other ask that I had, and this is something that I brought up to Alex, we have an issue with getting VNA to our towns. And Chris and I met with Highland Valley Elder Services, who is the agency that represents the elder services in the towns that we are in. And they didn't really know that there was an issue in Tolland and Granville and even in Blandford that people are either being sent home or they're requesting services, they qualify for services, but no agencies will come out to these towns. What they did say was that even now they're having a hard time getting nurses to come to Southwick. So it could be the shortage, I don't know, but Tolland has a significant problem, and Tolland asked if the Board of Health would write a letter or to Highland Valley or the Elder Affairs in the state, the Office of, Elder Affairs on the executive level, and say, this needs to be addressed. People need services and they can't get them. And what Highland Valley had said was that everyone seems to want to go to Westfield. And my question to them was, well, when you have agencies that you sign on, do they say what towns they'll go to? And she had said yes. And I said, well, if they're saying they'll go to Tolland and Granville and Southwick, can we hold them accountable to that? And I mean, but I guess they can't get staff. So this is the issue. But I said, if everybody wants to go to Westfield, could you ask them, could someone go to Tolland? And we're not talking a ton of people, 1 or 2 people that need services. So, I don't know, but it's definitely an issue and I think it needs to be addressed.
Does Talon have a Board of Health?
They have
Yes.
like a health agent, right? Yeah.
By definition, they have a board of health. If they have a board of selectmen, they have to have a board of health.
And Granville does too.
Correct, same scenario. If you have a board of selectmen, if there's no board of health, then
They serve.
have to fall board of health.
So therefore, for those towns, they should contact. Their Board of Health should contact.
But I actually just
Elder
had to add to that
services.
about the Highland Valley. They're having problems in Westfield too.
Yeah, so
So it's
It's-
not just the other towns.
it's not
They
just-
can't,
There's not enough
they're
people.
not getting they're not getting work done in Westfield for the same
Yeah.
reason. Maybe they're short staffed.
The short staffed.
Yep. Yep.
So you actually talked to somebody from the Elder Services? Did you actually talk to someone?
Highland Valley, yeah, we met with
And
someone.
and
up
what
there.
did they say was
They just
the cause? Was it?
staff
Staff.
shortage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cause we actually, we talked about maybe like, would they offer like a bonus if you're going up to that area? Because what happens is they get paid by the visit usually, and so they're not getting paid while they're driving. So if they only have one person in Tolland, they're not getting paid for, like, say, an hour. So they would rather do like Springfield or Westfield, like all of them, and then they're, the way home health works.
Maybe they should think about changing that.
Right, mm-hmm,
Yeah,
I-
maybe
yeah.
that's not working anymore than needs
it's
to.
right.
Yeah, but I think they need to, like, change the pay scale, for when you're
Or
driving.
for DM, for
Mhm.
mileage, things
Yeah,
like that.
Absolutely.
So for Southwick, since Talon and Granville have their own. For Southwick, do we know of certain cases where VNA did not come out?
I haven't heard of any yet. I don't know if I could ask Cindy Sullivan, see from the council and see if she's heard that. But they just mentioned it in our meeting saying they're even having a hard time filling Southwick, so. If they're making that statement, they must know of a case, but I haven't heard of a specific case yet. Colin contacted me because they had 2 specific cases where the people could not get services.
Do they,
I'm sorry to
no,
interrupt.
go ahead.
Mackenzie is no longer at our meeting.
Okay, she just. made
Okay,
it.
just
I see
as make a note of,
Yeah,
okay,
that. Okay,
sorry to interrupt.
all right.
that's okay.
Dee's still with us, all right?
Yep, Dee's
Okay.
still here.
At that meeting, did they say how many positions are down? Did they say that they're
No.
actively trying to find people, that they have people in mind.
I guess she alluded to that, yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone's actively looking, but
Right.
people aren't applying. COVID kind of
Yeah.
Right,
stopped a
because-
lot, especially home care. It's
Yeah.
such a close contact. So,
I don't know,
I don't
What
know
are
the
your thoughts?
solution.
Do you need to get other? To get Highland Valley to be more receptive?
yeah, I mean, if they don't have the staff, they don't have the staff.
Right.
Yeah,
We have. For sure.
I mean, they generally seem concerned about it also.
So they,
Yeah.
so
It's
they're
not like
aware.
they were blowing it off.
We can follow up with them again, and if we know of specific cases, yeah, I don't know what else to do.
And then those town, Tallinn and Granville, they could follow up also.
Mhm.
They have their own health department.
Well, and Tolland has a resource nurse, so she's the one that knew of it because
Okay.
the residents informed her. But yeah, so they definitely had two, one over the summer and one just recently.
Have
No
you heard of
services.
anything in your towns?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I guess follow up and see.
Mhm. I think that's it for my report.
We'll talk
There's a
about,
whole page.
Are you ready?
we'll talk about the space and stuff.
Okay,
later
sure.
After Christine. You're on.
Okay, my report is on Russell, Blanford and Montgomery. So I met with the Council on Aging, and let them know that Elms College will be hosting presentations starting in January. We're gonna start with, Thursdays, 4 to 6, because Jennifer from the Board of Health wants to try to get more of the population there, some people working. And if we don't generate enough people, then we're gonna go to the senior center. And the senior center wants to consider like a foot care clinic. So I did call 2 places and I haven't received any responses. And I think it's because it's way out there.
Mhm.
I'll keep trying because that seems to be something that the seniors are really interested in all the towns.
So who would you contact for foot?
There's
Care
an agency called Foot Care Nurses. And they're big and different, they have like 3 different counties that they do. And then there's, I asked Cindy and Cindy emailed somebody for me, but they didn't get back to me either. So the other thing is that I can try Lee and see if I can go backwards that way. Try the nurse up in Lee and see if they'll come down, or Otis even,
Mm.
that's the next point.
So you and Tricia, can you do foot care?
No. No, it's a training.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah, it's, no. And it's an intensive training. It's not, it's not like a class. It's a lot. So in Russell, we talked to the Council on Aging, Tricia came with me. They're not sure about doing a COVID clinic. They've already done the flu shot clinic. I will get back to her and I just put up signs because Blanford is doing 2. They're doing a COVID and a flu shot clinic, the next couple of weeks. And
Now, who's coming in to do that?
who's coming in? For the COVID, we have the mass vaccine, mobile vaccine clinic. And they're actually, the one that we have is stationed out of Miami, believe it or not. And then for the flu shot, we have CVS in Southwick. So. And I just put up signs, I email the Council on Aging and the library, so they put up signs there for the Blanford, because it's not that far, it's only about 15 minutes. I met with the library, the director is new to the position, and Tricia came with me for that too. They might be interested in presentations. They also mentioned that they have, that the Hilltown Community Center outreach nurse came to them saying that they could do presentations there. So I was supposed to go to the board meeting on Tuesday. I had to reschedule because I wasn't feeling well. But I'm going on the 13th. I'll meet with the board there and see about that. I called the lead nurse at Gateway Regional. She's brand new to the position too. She had only been there a week when I called her. So she said she'll contact me when she's settled and I'll meet with them. They had Maven, they had one case of influenza and one COVID. And then in Blanford, I met with the Council on Aging and they're interested in a quick care clinic also. I booked a VP clinic with starting in January. I'm gonna be doing like a monthly clinic after their before their Friday lunch. And we're gonna create a private space so that people feel comfortable talking about other things while we're doing a blood pressure. And I'll collaborate with the town medic. He goes out and actually does home visits. And he will be available to doing blood pressures also, if he's not working at Noble. The two clinics are booked for 12/5 and 12/12. And I'm going to be facilitating a presentation on boosting your immunity naturally at the library next Saturday.
And which library, I'm sorry? Are we
This is
still in,
Blanford still.
oh, we're still in Blanford.
And then in Maven, they have one case of COVID. In Montgomery, I met the seniors at the Montgomery Cafe because that's where that's the hangout for them. And it's going, I've been there twice now. It's going really well. I'm really developing a lot of rapport with them. I have like one person that actually saw it in Blanford. So she goes to Blanford for yoga. She goes to Russell for this. So she's like giving me little inroads and it's working out pretty well. So let's see. I'm gonna, where am I here? So she suggested that I contact the Hilltown Community Center and the Council on Aging, because a lot of the seniors go to all three. Russell, Blanford, and Montgomery go up to Huntington because they do flu shot clinics, and it's not a big place, I guess. I've reached out to the Council on Aging there, and I'm going to be attending a presentation on Alzheimer's next week, and talk to her during the Memory Cafe. And then the nurse at the Hilltown Community Center, the outreach nurse, I did reach out to her twice. I haven't received a call back yet. I met with the town secretary in Montgomery, and she's got me scheduled on the board next week. Like I was telling you, the town is under renovations, and I want to put up a wellness, like a wellness board up there, like in their main hall. And I already got permission to do that at the cafe too. They have like a hallway before you go into the dining room. So I want to put like a wellness tip of the week or the month or, okay. And then seniors have had COVID and flu shots, and they didn't think anybody would be interested because everybody goes up to Huntington. The town hall there is only open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's open like, it's like 10 to like 4. It's kind of, it's a little, you know, and like with the renovation, I'll find out more at the board meeting next week. And if they feel like they want to do a COVID shot this late in the year, then I'll book a clinic for them. And let's see, I think Tricia told us the other things. I was working on the securing the MD standing orders, and the person that I was speaking to you about is having the orders reviewed by the attorney at Noble. And just other than working on wellness boards and handouts and presentations that I've been doing. That's it.
I'm also, I'm sorry, working on getting a position too, so and I haven't heard back since I sent them all. I sent him your resumes, your job descriptions, answered his questions. Gave him Alex's phone number too. I don't know if he contacted you at all. I CC'd you on I haven't heard back either.
And Alex, you had spoken to Mike Hugo, who's helping with these grant stuff. Have you heard back from him about giving us some direction and where it may go in addition to what we're trying to do locally?
In regards to,
Doctors, getting some of the right orders.
no, he talked about the shared service coordinator. Not about it, the MD. right?
Well, that wouldn't be a bad idea because he may be able to assist us, because I thought you mentioned you had spoken to somebody.
Oh, yeah, I reached out to the
Right.
state doctor,
Right.
Dr. Larry Madoff.
Yeah.
And I asked him, and going to the state's legal counsel as well. And I have not heard back.
Okay, probably worth it if it's been a while, just to follow up to see if that's a dead issue or not. Christine, I have a question. No, actually, yes, it is Christine. Question for you. I have another question for Tricia, but you mentioned Gateway,
Yes,
and you realize Gateways at Huntington. It
Yeah.
seems like they're like a hub. There's a lot of activity there, more than certainly.
well,
Montgomery.
all the
Sometimes.
towns do not have a school. The school is Gateway for all of my towns, for Montgomery, Blanford, and Russell. Is that a problem?
No, I don't know. I just,
Yeah.
just thinking about the towns and stuff and whether or not that's gonna be it is gonna be a problem. I'm wondering if,
Whether it's not like within the grant, you mean?
yeah, something to think about. I mean, I think giving services, I'm not, at this point, I wouldn't stop what you're doing, but just to be clear that, Huntington is out of the service area for the.
Oh,
grant.
yeah,
That's
no,
all.
I understand
That's all.
that. I just
Yeah.
figured because they service the town.
Right, and conversely, maybe since these people from these other smaller towns like Montgomery and Russell and maybe Blanford were going to Huntington, maybe. They could come back. To these towns now because they can be serviced by this program.
Oh, right, exactly. Well, Huntington has Montgomery has a beautiful council on aging room. And that's why I want to see if they'll give me permission to use it, because I could do blood pressure clinics there, no problem. I mean, it's beautiful, but they do not have, they don't have anybody that's running it at
Right.
this point.
That's kind of like what you're doing too, Trish, right? With Council on
Yeah.
Aging.
Yes.
Clinical.
Yes,
Good, that's great.
That's great.
So I mean, the board meeting's next week, and then hopefully I'll have more information.
And the other thing I was gonna mention to you, both of you, is there, and I would certainly promote that if there's trainings that you can attend.
Yes,
with
Yes.
students, that you mail yourself, and I don't think the board
right.
or Alex would
Yeah.
have any
yeah.
reason to say you shouldn't do that. So the more training you get, especially
Oh, yeah.
as
Didn't you
things
guys
change.
go to a training recently? Thought?
We've done some trainings online.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. it was
And then we
online,
have
okay.
one, is it next week, Trish? Yeah, the 7th.
Okay,
Yeah,
In Huntington, we're doing one on Alzheimer's,
good.
they,
yeah,
and
most-
I think that would be like a great
That's a
resource
good
also
program.
to bring to the
Mhm.
other
Right.
council on aging.
Especially with an aging population
Oh,
in
yeah.
all the towns. serviced.
Definitely.
and I've
Oh.
been in discussions with Cindy Sullivan about dementia-friendly
Yes,
community.
yeah, we were.
And
And
none of our
researching that.
towns have that, well,
That's a great
Blandford is
program.
working on that designation.
Westfield has it,
Westfield
so,
has it, but, so I'll work with Cindy Sullivan to get it
That's
for
a great
Southwick.
program.
So,
Yeah.
and then we have to get training, which I think we'll be able to set up in February. So that what is it, Arborbrook?
Armsbrook, I
Arms-
just know a person that runs Armsbrook that,
They'll do the training.
she's very active in the dementia friendly, communities, yeah.
Yeah.
she's
Good.
an advocate, so.
So Cindy did it years ago and she said like fire were trained, police,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, and I mean, I think even schools should be part of it, because it's a way of the community coming together and
Absolutely.
recognizing people that are having issues and how to respond appropriately, so. So it's a great,
Yeah.
it's free service, so.
Okay, so, we have an issue with, privacy in the Board of Health office. Even though,
Inspection office that's shared, yeah.
right, even though Tricia figures she might be there 2 days a week. And Christine is, probably won't be there much at all because your 3 towns are over there. There is a private problem with Tricia have to make phone calls. When the secretary Karen's not there, people come in and they
Look to me for help.
did a
Yeah.
Tricia to help and obviously she
Right.
can't help.
Right.
So we were thinking that room down there, but that's gonna be taken. So the other option was the little room that was supposed to be for the nurse's office that we have everything taken out.
You mean like the refrigerator,
Yeah,
the,
we don't need that big
Stack, yeah.
refrigerator. We need a
Right.
little refrigerator for vaccines. We don't
Right.
need that big refrigerator. People just putting their food in there.
right,
Can take it out. Someone want, if Kyle wants it in his office, they can have it.
right.
They're gonna have to take out the shelving,
Shelving.
but the syringes would have to be removed somewhere, but a little table in, have a phone line put in, have a computer line put in, and maybe do have some cupboards up there where you can put the
Right.
syringes and lock them up. And then it'll be scrunch, but you're only gonna be
Right,
like 2 days a
Right,
week,
and we can work
but
with
there
that.
will be privacy.
Yes,
Yes,
that'd be
And
perfect.
I think maybe reach out to Dave,
Sutton,
he's a real good, he's really,
Good,
knows
Andy.
what's going on
Yeah.
and, what can be done, what can, you know.
Now, do we have to run this should run it by the selectmen
Yes.
at a meeting?
No.
You just email.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Email them.
Just email like Russ and Doug and
Yeah.
Carl.
Carl. I'll email Doug, Russ, and Carl.
Well, just one of them.
Yeah, you can't because it's considered,
A meeting, so
yeah.
Russ, who's,
who's the chair is Russ.
okay, so
So
Russ and Carl.
Yeah.
And then, Dee was going to be working where Tricia is. on her desk. All right, so see what we can do. See if
Yeah,
they'll do it.
Perfect.
That won't
Okay.
help though, when you're here both at the same time. 'cause that-
Right, well, we've been working
it out.
around.
We've been staggering
We
our
can do that.
schedule here.
We can do
Alright,
that.
okay.
It was just gonna be hard if we had to do it around D too, so.
Oh, yeah, D is gonna be over there now?
Yep,
When, okay.
I don't know.
D, you're gonna be in the shared building inspector's office?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, why do you say that? Because,
The IT came in today to set up a station at the desk that I sit at for her, so I don't know how he said he was told to set it up in here because she's gonna move over. I don't know where it came from. I have no idea.
yeah,
Not for you, is it?
No, it's for her, yeah.
I
So I have
have
the
no idea
laptop.
where that came
Yeah.
from because she's supposed to be in that office near the printer. I mean, that desk near the printer.
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
shared office, right, across the hall.
Jessica was before.
Yes,
Right.
where
Jessica
Jessica was, where Cindy was. I don't know why.
That's
I don't
why
know.
I asked.
Had you come
I'll
before
have to,
or
I'll ask.
select board, Carl.
Well, that's why I asked. because it's
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know, I don't want to be cramping anyone's style. And I think kind of makes it a little bit difficult if, you know. So just making sure that we're all on the same
right.
board or on the same wavelength is important. So I don't know where that came from. That's why I asked.
Okay, Gino, find out.
Yeah.
So you have keys. Are you all set on the ordering now?
Yes, the only thing we need, but now I think you said you had a color printer in your office, so
Yeah.
if we get it working, then we're
Oh,
fine.
Use it.
Okay,
That's fine.
cause
That's fine.
this I printed from home, so.
No, it's not.
But
Oh,
I-
we
I
really
asked Jim
need a
to.
color printer, but apparently he has,
Still waiting.
so
Okay.
we'll use his,
So,
that's fine.
The color portion.
so you're all set on, you're
No,
ordering
printer.
the procedures of ordering that.
Yep, oh, that's, yep,
Fine.
Yep.
if you have to want to, just send your document down to Robin.
Okay,
They have a colored printer down
oh,
there.
they do, okay.
And then have her make as
Who's
many
Robin?
copies as you,
And-
Robin Solak, she's in the select board's
Oh,
office.
okay, great.
Okay,
Or, Lisa
Lisa.
Anderson,
Yeah,
Okay.
Lisa's
Either one of
printed out to
those.
me,
Yeah.
the color.
okay,
yeah.
And I
And
hate to
then-
bother them, but they're fine with it.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, and it'll only be once a month, so I'll
Right,
just create it once a month,
Great.
so,
right. So just
okay,
utilize their colored printer down
Okay.
there.
okay.
Okay, so Alex, have you been getting a year-to-date budget for the Board of Health?
Yeah, last time I got it was,
Monthly.
I think mid-October.
Okay, so I asked, Laura's not here for a few days. But I met with her and I told her that I'd like her to email me used to get it once a month. But also I want a year-to-date for the nursing grant. We have all those
Well, that's
line
included
items.
on there.
Pardon me?
That's included on there.
Really?
That's combined. It's one sheet. I mean, no, it's separate accounts, but I'm saying it shows it on there.
Do you have one in your office or
I think so.
that you
Yeah,
can show us?
yeah,
What is
I'll
not
give
in-
it to you
What
later. Yeah.
is not included on there, she said, is the nursing salaries or the administrative
What do you
line
mean?
item. Pardon me?
What do you mean?
Like Tom, on his, you have your health inspector salary line item up here with the salaries.
Oh.
She said for the grant, she does not have the nursing salaries or the administrator line item. And
Oh.
she's gonna work on putting it together.
Oh,
Yeah, she told me that. And she, as a matter of fact, I just met with her this week.
Yeah.
And she says it's going to take at least a week
really?
to get all that data together.
she-
So
but
I don't
she
know,
has-
So I don't know how
No,
you
but-
have
I
it.
don't know what you're getting. If she says that
Well,
it's
she
not available.
has all the account numbers.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
she does,
yeah.
and she has the total amount.
Right, but we
So I
wanna
don't
know, we wanna know how much has
Yeah,
been
you're-
used.
Referring to Jean.
Yeah, we wanna know how much has been used and how much we have left.
Right,
Cause say if we do have to
Oh,
buy a refrigerator or something, we have to work within what we have
Right,
for
within the
money.
parameters, right.
All right, so the West Springfield refrigerator is gone. Can we get it? I
I will
mean,
double check.
I'll go-
Alex and I were just talking about that. I'll contact her the first thing in the morning.
cause we'll
Gee,
go over
yeah,
and we'll pick it up. And bring it here, and then
Who's we?
I'll go with my husband or something. I'll go with Tom. We'll go pick it up. It's a small, like dorm, it looks like it's a dorm refrigerator, so I hope it's,
I have one right
Those aren't
there.
allowed.
Yeah, it can't be a dorm refrigerator.
No, I think she's using that.
That's
just for
not allowed.
guys.
Yeah.
No, this
2
is
foot
the
by 3.
vaccine.
It's a scientific,
This is
it's
definitely
a,
vaccine.
she sent the
It's a
picture,
small
it's a
vaccine.
vaccine
Oh,
The dog
refrigerator.
refrigerator, I know.
No, it's,
So it's not a
It's-
dorm
It's
refrigerator.
the size of it.
it's the size of it, but it's an actual
Small.
scientific,
for temperature recorded.
Like a temp logger?
Yeah, does it have like a viewpoint thing where it's electronic and it'll beep you when the
Oh, that's a
temperature is
good
too
question.
low?
I don't know.
Or is it just, a grid?
Because most of the time, the temperature loggers are separate.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
Right.
we have to purchase that.
Right.
Right, we
separate.
have it.
separate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
so I
have-
don't know.
So
if
we
that
have
would-
like a viewpoint type of thing.
No, I'm saying I don't know if that's included.
but we used to have them.
All right, didn't she send a picture?
Yeah, it was in the email, the picture I saw, because I looked at the pictures.
Anybody, any idea? where
Do
the-
we have
Let me
the
see if I
temperature log? with the
There's,
current-
I think there's still one in the refrigerator
Yeah.
that's in there now.
Yeah.
You can
I
see
used
the
to-
probes.
I used to-
And it
Yeah.
still works and everything?
I haven't checked it, I have no idea.
Yeah, me either. I don't know.
I mean, how old is it, do we know?
Well, let's,
'Cause, yeah, I thought they expired.
let's worry about getting the room set
Yeah.
up before
Right,
we
they-
get. worried
Well, no,
about
she
getting
wants
the
it gone.
refrigerator in there.
The thing is, she wants it gone.
Right, but you have to get permission, you have to get a plan,
Right,
this isn't gonna happen tomorrow, so.
no, no,
So you wanna go pick up the refrigerator, but there's gonna be no place to put it until they can
right,
reconfigure that room.
Well, if
exactly.
it's not that big, we could still put it on a shelf, take some of that stuff off the shelf. I mean, just to get rid of it, just to get it over here. I mean, that wouldn't take much.
We're gonna get rid of the scale, that big
Just move it,
scale.
well,
What
yeah, but
scale?
even some of the stuff in the shelves that are not, medical grade, anything.
Right.
There's other stuff there that's, that we could relocate, let's put it that way.
So where would you
Ship
put
it.
the current refrigerator?
we're working on that, maybe another room downstairs,
The
somewhere
dog,
else,
I thought it had a class there, but I.
possibility.
yeah,
Somebody else's office that wants one in the other room, I don't know.
Yeah, if not, then we
But-
toss it. Someone want an extra refrigerator
Right.
in their house,
Right.
in their basement? If nobody wants it,
What year is it, Trish?
Does it look fairly?
did you see it?
new?
No,
I think so, I don't know.
Okay, well,
that's huge.
let's work on getting the
She
room
says
set
it's
up.
2 feet by 3 feet, so,
Wow.
Yeah.
but I mean, it doesn't
2
look.
feet deep,
Yeah,
3 feet high.
2 feet wide, I think it was 2 feet wide and 3
So
feet.
You should
Tom-
put that on top of the.
I don't
Yeah.
think, no,
No.
and I don't think that would be safe.
Yeah. I
Tom,
don't
do you
think so
know,
either.
Jean Galloway?
Yes, I do.
So do you want to ask her if she
Yeah.
has
I'll see if it's still available.
the
That's
user,
first
the
thing.
user manual and how old it is and,
Well, if it's gone, none of that will matter.
right,
But if it's still available for us.
then we'll pick up tomorrow.
It does look like it has a digital display
Just need to
too.
know how to
Oh,
get
that's
there.
good.
Yeah, it certainly looks,
That's
it
good.
certainly looks newer.
It looks like
Yeah, It's got
it's.
an outside one and then we
Yeah.
gotta get an inside one too. All right.
This is fine.
I mean, I think that refrigerator came when we moved in
Really?
to
What
this
year was that?
office.
Yes,
What year was that?
2097.
1840,
Stop it. Stop.
right, it came in when they,
It wasn't a parking lot, it was a
when
corral.
they made that room. And it's been used for other people's food. So we're all set on that. You're waiting to hear from the Sunny or Sun. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his name. Doctor,
doctors, yeah.
He said Sunny.
and I'm waiting to hear from my doctor to see if anybody's interested in,
And I'm also checking with the town council, who just got permission from the select board to ask about the liability for writing orders for other towns.
okay. And so, is there anything else? Want to add anything?
Yeah, no other boards of health have their own standing orders or anything like
No.
that? No. Okay.
Nope.
So we're pretty much all starting from scratch. then?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you happen to look up to see hypertension if they have an updated standing order?
Have you guys? Any luck?
We thought the AMA, like against
Right.
medical advice form, would cover us for that. So if we get somebody that won't go to the hospital, call their doctor because they have a high blood pressure, then we have them sign a form that says, we told you to do this. You don't want to do this, these are your risks, by
Yeah.
not doing that. That would cover us under our nursing liability.
Mhm.
Do you have that form? You can email me. so
Yeah,
I can send it on.
I brought did you get those?
I do, they're on the desk, yeah, I can scan it
Yeah.
for you tomorrow.
Yeah, I
Or
thought we could
whatever
make
day.
our own form, kind of customize it to ourselves.
And also, the doctor said that the ranges were incorrect. On,
Yeah, I think that was an old form that we had.
That's what I was
so
wondering if we had a new one, wherever that came from.
A
I
new
can
what?
look,
A new
updated,
hypersensitivity updated standing order form that had all the
Oh, I don't know
information on it
about
because the ranges are
hypersensitivity.
incorrect.
I don't know. I don't know.
I can look and see where that came from and see if there's something updated.
Please, okay, because that was his concern
Sure.
for that one. So I guess we're all set. You
Okay,
guys can stay or leave, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you for all your work,
Thank you.
and hopefully we'll get things more comfortable for you.
Great, thank you so much.
Now, do we actually reinstate G? Did we actually?
yeah,
reinstate
we're
her?
going to.
Okay,
Did you
so,
guys accept?
We accepted a resignation at the last meeting.
Okay,
so
And
therefore,
so we're going to resend the
yes.
acceptance and reinstate
So long, I feel better.
Dee as our secretary. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks
Great
a lot.
job.
Good night.
Take
We
care.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
So now that Dee is
So make the-
willing to
make the
stay on,
motion.
I don't think we have to make a motion. It's
Yeah.
not, because we never made a motion to accept her
Right.
resignation.
We just accept
So we're
that.
just,
Right.
accepting her reinstatement,
Right,
that's all.
okay,
All right.
good.
Welcome
Okay.
back on board.
Yeah,
Welcome back, Dee.
welcome.
Thank you.
Okay,
Can I backtrack 1 second on the doctor's thing? You know,
Yes.
that new, that walk-in clinic next to the American Inn is now with Southwood Villages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, they opened up a new facility.
Yeah,
What about approaching them and asking them if they have any doctor on,
I don't think it would hurt.
right? I mean, they're new in town, they, you know, to be a, for a doctor, to be a
so what
doctor.
are they? What's the name of them? Are they
Is
from
it an
Mercy
urgent
or?
Yeah, it's an urgent care, you know, it's next to, it's where the
With
Southwood
the old
College.
American, Dr. Cooper Swami's old
Yeah,
office.
Oh,
Dr.
that's what
King.
it was.
Yeah,
King.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a medical facility. I mean,
Kingston.
they have obviously, I'm guessing they have doctors there, right? I haven't been in there, but I know they have nurses. It's an urgent care, right?
Yeah, I didn't even know about it. It's news to me.
You gotta get out more.
Oh, you
so.
Yeah, it's
No,
news to
yeah,
me.
It's, yeah, it's based in Boston. I think that company, I looked it up one time and they have, you know, a bunch of units, you know, urgent care.
Do you know what the
it's a
name of it?
facility.
Do you know what the name of
Yeah,
it?
it's got initials like H,
Yeah, Trinity, I think.
maybe. Yeah, I
it
mean, it's a
Trinity?
large thing. and-
It's not the AEIOU.
Mercy.
No, that's a different one. But, you know, since they have a location in town, they may want to have a little, more of a
Presence.
presence, yeah,
Community involvement,
yeah.
especially with the Board of Health.
Do you want to stop in or do one of you want to stop in?
Having the
Maybe we
nurses,
should,
yeah. Or maybe
So
we
I'd go with
can
you.
reach out to them and see if we can make a meeting.
You're not talking about Jordan Healthcare, are you?
The new one,
The
the
one
one
where
that,
yeah, it's-
it used to be?
yes, that's what we're talking about.
Okay,
Right,
they're nurse practitioners.
Oh, they're not medical doctors?
they have to be getting, oh, they can have their own orders, nurse practitioners?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in Massachusetts they can.
Oh,
Oh,
And then they're.
and
But
that
they
would,
can't for
there's
the
a
federal.
doctor hire out.
and they can't, so they wouldn't be, oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Okay.
well,
Well, hopefully
Maybe-
something will happen with the Bay State.
Maybe they
Positions.
have doctors.
I mean, they have.
They have to.
They could do pretty much everything that the doctors can do. In
There's a
Massachusetts.
doctor,
Was
there's a
there-
doctor overseeing
Isn't there a
them,
doctor overseeing
Right.
things right now?
but there's probably no
But
doctor
the
there.
physician,
No, there isn't.
right. Oh,
They're
Hmm.
all nurse practitioners.
Yeah, but isn't there, it wouldn't be a medical person, a physician over
But the
there?
laws have changed. They're different in Massachusetts. They can, do the prescriptions. They could do the whole thing there.
But they can't write orders?
Yes, they can.
Well,
They can,
then do we
but what
do
is
you need to
the
have a
code say?
physician then?
Has to
That's
be
my,
an
that's
MD,
my
right?
question.
right.
Yes,
Then if
they-
they can
they
do
do have-
everything, then,
They do have a physician overseeing them, but
Oh.
that doesn't mean the physician is there.
no, that's
Right.
different. So
Yeah.
just like
Right.
the Board of Health, doctor, the physician's not
Exactly.
here either, had never been here. We've had a doctor for years. But they were never here, even with, with consultants,
Mm.
they were
Right.
never here, we
Who
never
is
saw
that,
them.
Dr. Beltran?
Yeah, I mean, we never even saw them. So,
And
that
that was
would
Bay
be-
State.
huh? That was
the
with Bay State,
It was
correct.
an agreement and that's it.
Right, and he's doing it to other towns, for other towns, so,
Right.
yeah.
so make a decision. You want to go? and-
Well, it doesn't hurt to
Start
try,
going?
that, all they do is say no, right?
Right,
If they can't do it, they won't do it, but it's,
so,
Yeah.
We will
if
be.
you
you know,
allow
there's
Tom
no
and I to
sense
go there.
speculating. You
But we need,
just
Exactly.
go
we
and
need,
talk to
we need an MD to sign.
well,
Well, maybe they might have someone too.
well,
Okay.
do you need it? If the laws have changed, as Dee was just saying, if the laws have changed, then maybe you don't necessarily need an MD if you have a nurse practitioner. I mean, I don't know.
But
I'm
What
just-
about, what
There-
about the vaccine?
I don't know.
Because I thought that's at the federal level, if you do it. that
No,
way.
aren't they gonna be giving out medication that has the DEA numbers and stuff on it there?
Yeah.
If it's an urgent care, so that's all DEA, that's all federal.
Right.
And
They're
allowed to do
doctoral
it.
nurse practitioners there.
Or what?
They're doctoral nurse practitioners.
What's that mean?
They have a
Doctor,
doctorate, they have a PhD
yeah,
in nursing.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
I didn't
Okay.
know that. Hmm.
Yeah, well, let's do
Well,
it.
that's what,
Can't
that's
hurt.
what Kate does, has a
Can't hurt.
PhD in nursing.
Yeah,
Right?
nursing.
Okay,
education.
so who's gonna contact them and when?
I will. I'll go.
Yeah.
Anybody, I'll do it.
There's, have time to,
Okay,
okay, see what the story is.
okay.
I gave Michelle Hill a copy of our regulations, that we signed. And, she said something, she doesn't have any of our old body art
Oh, yeah, I just
regulations.
dropped it off today. So she has a copy of that
She has it,
for the 2001.
all right, so I don't have to
Yeah.
do that, so these I just have
So that
to
one's all
file,
set. Yeah.
these I just have to file in the office.
No,
but-
that one I need to send a copy to DEP for.
Right, needs to be done,
repository.
registered.
Does it have to be originals?
Yes,
Well, it has to be stamped. By the town. I
town
mean,
clerk.
I don't know if it has to be original, but as long as it's stamped that we know that they know.
Okay, so we have
that
to get a
it's-
stamp, because I wanted to give Michelle both of these for her to stamp both of them.
Oh, yeah, right,
But she said-
exactly.
But she said all she needed was one, and she had to check on the regulations because she was rusty on them.
And
Oh,
what
yeah, no, she
regulations.
should definitely stamp that.
On
absolutely.
her procedure and what she has to do and how
Right.
she has to file it and stamp it. So therefore, we need a copy of what she's stamping.
I think she just has to do what. she
No,
would normally
no,
do.
that's separate, but what we have to do
Yeah,
is we have to have the
Register.
ratified documents
Right.
and send it to the state. Every board needs to.
All right, so are
some
these
form of-
ratified documents, we signed them, are they ratified
Yes,
documents?
yes, they
yeah,
are.
and they
Yep.
gotta be stamped by
Yep.
her. The date stamped by the clerk.
Yeah, having
That's what they
received
need.
by the town.
I don't know, I don't think Michelle has to do anything else but what they do normally when they.
Like, let's say it's
They
like
stamp it.
let's say it's like a bylaw or something like that, or a change. Then you know, let's say there's a.
All right,
town
so she
meeting,
has to
whatnot,
stamp these with-
She has to report that to the state on her end. But for us, from the Board of Health side, we have to also report to our
Registry.
approving whatever, you know, DEP, that's all.
All right, so she needs to stamp these
Yeah, like she-
also, and we
yeah.
need to make a photocopy
Yeah.
and send them off to where we
And
send them.
that's fine, yeah.
Okay, so,
Do you want me to take care of that for tomorrow?
sure.
All right.
She already has she already has one of each.
Thanks.
For her files, and these are for us.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll get those stamped. And then I'll send it over to DEP. I mean, there's like a mailing address and I don't know.
I can-
Oh, but they
I can
changed
find
it,
it.
didn't
I
they?
can find it.
I have the Springfield office, is that the one?
No,
No,
no, it
they
goes to
changed
Boston.
it,
I
yeah.
think it goes to
What's
100
that?
100 Winter Street. And I actually spoke to the woman that was in charge of it. It's kind of a,
It's a mishmash.
I actually asked a while ago if I could get a listing of all the towns that have regulations that are more stringent than Title V. And she told me I needed a FOIA request other than our town.
What
She
is
can give
that?
you our
What's a
FOIA?
foyer?
Freedom of Information Act. Yeah, and I talked to other people and they said that's, you know, you should, that should be part of the state government. In other words,
That is.
all that you shouldn't have to have a FOIA request. That should be part of the state government responsibility to have that available to the public. Everybody should know, everybody should
It
be able
is
to look
public
at,
record.
you know, Sandusfield or Collins or Granville or Southwick. What are they doing for Title V? It's public record. They shouldn't have to have a FOIA request for that, but see. Anyway, and that's not gonna stop us, because we know we're getting.
When was that? Was
What?
that recently? that
Oh,
they
yeah.
said that to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what she told me. There's no place to go online to find it. It's just like, it's a, something that needs to be addressed at the state level.
Hmm.
In my spare time, I'll look into it.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna get that.
Yeah.
You're gonna make a photocopy and send it to where it has to go, and then the originals go, we
In
have a
the
notebook
binder.
in there.
In the binder with everything else.
binder.
And then I'm gonna
Regulations.
update, I'm gonna update the whatever.
Right,
and it's
take
gonna be
this,
all set, yeah.
okay. Is there anything else? Anything other? Oh, we do have an applicant, and you said you sent that,
Yes,
so our
I
applicant,
sent all three.
do we want to schedule our next meeting, an interview?
Will he be available?
In 2 weeks.
I have no idea. I mean, probably should need to probably look at it, make sure that meets your specifications. All agreed. I mean, you haven't looked at it yet, so,
I have,
oh, you have.
yeah, I have it.
I know, I
I
said it
just
to you.
gave it to him and I read it.
Oh, you have, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And
You
Sue,
could.
you haven't yet, though. I mean, you're the majority right now. If
We are
both
the
of
board
you-
right now.
If the both of you say that you want to do that,
You
Yes,
know,
he's a registered sanitarian.
yeah, he
he's
looks like a viable
Surf
applicant.
safe, soil evaluator, lead determinator.
Yeah.
He's worked as a health agent.
Witnessing perk, inspecting restaurants,
he does what we do.
Would it be,
housing,
you know, the meetings are public,
Yeah.
so would he be,
We can
willing
go
to
into
come to a
executive.
meeting?
I
Huh?
don't think
We
you
can
can,
go
I don't
into-
think you
No,
can
we don't
talk
need to
about
go-
that. I don't
no.
think you can for.
Can't go
interview.
into executive session
interview.
for an interview.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No.
Who said that, town council?
So
Be ran
would
that by some.
you or Tom or Alex like to give him a call and ask him if,
I
Tom, you
I
want
will
to?
put that in my list of things. to do.
okay,
So we could do it for our next
our
meeting,
next meeting?
if it's good for him.
I will find
Say,
out.
say,
Yeah,
say
right.
for 6:30,
Good, 6:30?
yeah, and then we have,
I'd ask Mackenzie, but she's not here.
I better write a few down.
Why did she leave?
I don't think she would have disagreed.
She's just like technical. thing.
I don't know.
why don't you want a regular piece of paper,
Yeah.
Tom?
Sure.
The thing with the
Do you
scrap
want, do you
paper.
want a copy? You
Oh,
can
that's
take
it,
that, I
it is.
can. Yeah, that's the,
I'll make a photocopy of that one.
here, I'll make a copy. You
Make,
want it?
make a few copies.
Yeah, yeah. It's been the evening, though, right?
That's where I got it.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no, I mean,
I could do it if you wanna,
no, I know where the copy machine is,
me too.
okay?
To-do list.
All right, see if,
To-do list.
see if 6:30 on the,
Yeah.
what does it be, the fifth, it'll be the 15th?
Let's
Let me
consider.
verify that, sorry.
And I'll dig out those questions that we had.
And I think I have a copy of this too
Previous.
somewhere. I had that on my
Yes,
phone.
wait, isn't it the third Thursday?
Third,
It's gotta be, gotta be the
15th.
15th? Yeah.
Wow, there's 5 weeks in this. Or five, tell you.
6:30. If you can make
You
it.
got it?
If not,
I'll check.
then-
No, I'll get back to you now.
if
Yeah.
not, then it'll have to be
And you-
January.
Who's gonna check on the moving that stuff out of it? The refrigerator. and all
Well, I
that
can
jazz.
email. I
Oh,
can-
that's right. I had to call Gene. That's right.
You can call
Okay,
Gene about
yeah,
the fridge.
Yeah, yeah,
I can email, Carl and Russ and say this is
Okay.
what our plans are,
okay.
and will they help us?
That's cool, but
And I should email Dave Sutton too.
what-
Did you want a copy or?
Yeah, or they'll just tell
What
you to
happened?
do it.
Okay.
Oh, we
Dave
have
Sutton's definitely the
issues.
guy who's gonna be doing it, right?
You still have
We're
people?
gonna need, phone
We have
line, we're gonna
issues.
need computer line, we're gonna need, the stuff.
Oh, in
we
that
got
room,
in
you
there.
mean?
Yeah, we're gonna probably need, once we figure out the design, we're probably gonna need some kind of,
Shelving,
overhead cabinets that lock. Thank you.
Do you take any money out of the grant for that?
What are you talking about?
To renovate the,
Well, I gotta,
I mean, that would go bigger. I mean, that would go over.
right, but I gotta,
Better.
I don't even know what's in the grant right now, all the money,
Yeah.
what's been spent.
Right. Got it.
What was your question, Tom?
If we could use any money in the grant for that, would that be allowable expenditure is my question.
Yeah, but what was it?
For the fixing the nurse's
office.
office to make it more. Make it more acceptable, and HIPAA approved,
Sure.
so we can have private,
That's
yeah,
not a problem.
so we just gotta find out.
Put that
That's what we
under,
need. We need to know what we
nursing
need,
supplies or office supplies.
Right.
Well, we need
Right.
to know how much money.
how much money is available to do that.
They've
Okay.
Well,
spent some money, I need to
Oh, they
know.
have that. The
Pardon me?
nurses have that, Laura has that, everyone has that. You have
I
that.
need, no, I need the year to date, I need to know what we have right now,
Okay, so Laura should have that.
right, the Laura.
and we
the
asked her
officer.
for it, and she said it's going to take a week to get that
It's
information.
gonna take a week? Wow.
She's gotta put it all together, she wants to put, I told her, asked her to put the nurse's salary in there and the administrator in there. So we need to know how much we have for an administrator, so that when we get a new health and director, what we can give them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So we're gonna review we reviewed application. And will request. interview at next meeting? And the date on that is
6:30 and the 15th, and I will definitely-
December 15th at 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so,
And do you
well,
want me to put that on the agenda? For next time?
if he
All right.
can,
Yeah. I'll
well, yeah,
certainly know by now,
find
yeah,
out if he
next week, yeah.
can,
Oh,
I'm going,
if
that's-
he'll, can,
But you're
he's
gonna
available
ask-
I'm tasked for
first,
that, yes,
All right.
I will
Yes.
task for that, yeah.
okay?
okay, so I make a motion to adjourn until our next meeting.
No. We haven't gotten Alex's report yet.
Oh. we
Oh,
got
yeah,
it?
thanks.
I'm
No.
sorry.
No,
Okay, I guess we
do you
can.
need,
yes. Thank
well,
you.
my notes are on the back, so
I'll give it back.
you can give it back, yeah.
Oh, sorry about
Alex's
that.
report,
Okay, so.
yeah,
I did 4 well permits for, if for some reason the email wasn't working.
no,
I
it's,
changed
yeah,
it.
but that, it printed, so I don't care.
All right, 368 Granville Road, 331 North Loomis Street,
Excuse me, Dee, you won't have to write these down, I'll just make a copy of it for you, okay?
Okay, yep, thanks.
40 and 42 Mort Vining Road, all well permits.
Now, are these all new
New.
wells, or do you have?
One's a
these-
repair,
No,
right?
one is a repair, yeah,
368.
that's right, and 331 is a repair as well.
368 Granville Road is new,
What's a new well, but it's
It's
not
a
an
new-
existing, it's not a new construction for the house. That's
Right.
the Mort Vining Road is new
Okay.
houses.
That's
new
new
well.
construction.
okay,
Right.
okay,
Okay, that should be, okay, yeah, I have 9A South. The other pen.
Yeah.
That's 9A Sawgrass Lane COC was issued for a new construction, including a final inspection. 15 Lexington Circle COC, that was the component, T-box replacement. Repair, so 194 Hillside Road, disposable constructions permit sign off. That's a new construction. 115 Fred Jackson Road, rough inspection and a final inspection were conducted. No COC issued yet. Didn't receive the paperwork. 6 Birchwood Road, COC was issued, a repair. 1 Tall Pines Trail, disposable constructions permit for new construction. 5 Tall Pines Trail, 9 Tall Pines Trail, also new disposable constructions permit as well. 9B Sawgrass Lane, COC, new construction as well. 104 Sheep Pasture Road, COC repair. 108 Congamon Road, pre-operational, this is for food now. Pre-operational inspection with the building and fire department.
108,
108, that's the one for the Delatera food.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's not 141, then,
No, this is 108. 141 is the Krabby Joe's.
Krabby Joe's, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
So 108, that's the, old Red Riding Hoods basket,
No,
oh, I don't know.
no?
There's a
Because
Red Cafe.
that's
over
still there.
Oh.
That's still active. This is what, it used to be the
That's the Red
pizza.
Cafe.
It used to be
Is
the
that
pizza
Red's
place,
Cafe?
right? Yeah,
108 Congamon Road.
that's
Yeah.
that same plaza.
So
But
that
there's a,
Oh, the
Same place.
pizza place that used to be
Exactly,
at the
yes.
end,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay, I'm sorry,
Oh, no,
Red's
it's okay.
still there.
I'm in the
I
wrong
was gonna say,
place.
there's a Red's Cafe that
Right.
Kyle and I stopped
No.
in to check in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm in
and
the wrong end of the,
yeah, but it's the
And
same.
then there's a like a
area.
laundry.
yeah,
Yeah.
And there's,
yeah,
Yeah.
I know,
okay.
okay,
And then 3 Evergreen Street, the housing. There's work that's being done on the furnace and the door is in progress. It just had the building department.
Have they issued,
permit.
my understanding is that the person in the basement it's against the zoning regulations.
Yes.
Has the building inspector been notified of that?
Yes,
Okay.
Kyle
Has-
has been
Has
notified.
he sent a letter out to him or anything?
I have not received anything
Okay.
yet at this time, but you know,
Okay,
the work that's being done is according to what Freedom Credit Union has told me.
okay.
and then the
said-
building inspector needs to issue a
Issue,
violation
right,
letter to
right.
them, right?
Zoning violation.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
so the building inspector is the zoning enforcement
Okay,
right.
officer in this case, yeah.
Right, but you made him aware of it.
Yes.
then.
Oh, and so did
Okay.
Tom, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And this is a very interesting situation because now it's saying that it's gonna be there's gonna be an auction happening soon, but I don't know what's gonna happen with that in that regard, so. I don't know if you ever dealt
For
with
which
something like that.
plaza?
Tom.
Not an auction, I mean, when there's a housing code violation,
Yeah,
not that I can recall.
yeah, me either.
Isn't it like a betterment, that thing they do, what's it called?
Oh, receivership?
Yeah. do
No, they're
receivership?
not receivership, because they're is saying that they're gonna take care of it, so
Oh.
it doesn't,
So it sounds
it
like
wasn't
they are.
enforced. I think that's what would have happened if they didn't step up, because they're the next responsible
So
party.
what is the address of that one? This one?
3 Evergreen.
Evergreen?
So that one was the same one that, we went
Yep.
to, I mean, Tom and I worked on that for months.
Yeah, that was the summertime. Because
Yeah.
it wasn't even the tenant. The
Yeah.
tenant was, the people that originally complained have gone, and that place is vacant.
Right.
This is the downstairs
And we hadn't heard,
apartment that doesn't need zoning, it's a single family house.
right? And then it wasn't, I mean, we worked on it through December, September, and then we were just like, this is a very tricky situation. We have to, get some assistance with housing board. And they pretty much reinforced the Board of Health order to get the remedies in. But it's good to know that the work is already in progress. But I really wish that this happened sooner. But at the same time, we tried everything that we can as quickly as we can too, so.
And there was some complications with the responsible party that is deceased. So there was a whole issue of who was gonna respond. And that's another thing that took so long.
Yeah.
And that was even in housing court, it took long.
Exactly, yeah.
Anyway, started. Finally.
Anything, going on with the Chinese restaurant, the, failed septic system?
I haven't heard anything since the original,
Oh,
Comments.
yes, that's what is it called?
King Yen,
King,
Is that what it's called? Okay, yeah. So. Who was, oh, Barry and I did a perk over there, a while ago, not a while ago, like a month ago or 2 months ago, I can't recall right now, but. It was a repair perk, and there was a question of whether or not that facility, was able to go to sewer, and hook up. And, Randy Brown, reached out to me and inquired about that. And I think there are a few questions he had about that, and I don't know if, I mean, it's basically really up to the owner right now. What he's gonna
Public
decide to
sewer
do.
line
My
doesn't
understanding-
extend down there.
my understanding was that the sewer line doesn't go that far, you'd have to get an easement, and I don't think, and I think that I mentioned to Randy. Unless the owner of this property could get an easement to that.
Right.
But we couldn't force, the Board of Health didn't have the power to
No.
force an easement. So, but he does have an option to be able to put the septic system where it was originally. And I mean, that was even a perk test done recently.
Right.
So he has that option. It's not like there's no place to put the septic system, but even if it was done in the same location, and the other one torn out. The issue of whether the sewer was, it's not abutting it. It's not abutting the
No.
property. So,
Right.
so what is it, a problem? Is it grease
Yeah,
trap
it's
not
probably-
sufficient?
well,
It's,
could be maintenance
Well, we
issue.
don't-
I don't, I mean,
Exactly.
do they have a, separate- is the grease trap more than just something under the sink? Is
Oh, yeah,
there
yeah,
an actual-
there's an outside.
but there's an inside one too, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
there's both.
But they do
Yeah.
use, I mean, let's face it, they use a lot of oils with that, in that
Right,
cooking,
but are they
yeah.
cleaning it,
Well, that's.
Well, maintaining it.
Yeah,
maintaining
right,
it?
which is the same, yeah, which is clean.
Which
So beer,
what does Title 5 say, every,
Well, it
4 times a year?
depends. It's either every quarter or if the use of that is more.
but is Barry working on a plan?
Last time I heard, because I did reach out with Barry about that, is that he has not. because at the direction of the,
Owner,
The
he's
owner.
kind of waiting to see. if he can-
exactly, he
Okay,
wants to
well,
see his
right.
options, and so,
Okay.
I respect that inquiry, and it's up to.
Okay, so what about, the septic system at Krabby Joe's? What is going on there?
Okay, so that's what I want. I mean,
Is there sewer?
Oh,
Yes,
there's definitely sewer. They've
Yeah.
been hooked up for sewer.
yeah,
for
they
28 feet.
don't need a set, they don't have a septic system,
The-
they're public.
well,
sewer.
The issue appears to be that the lowest grade, the basement facilities, is that there's a question whether that has been hooked up when it was done originally, because it's a lot lower than apparently there's a gravity feed from the main floor into the sewer system. But whether or not that was ever tied in is the question. So my recommendation to Alex and the board is that if they need, it's their responsibility to demonstrate, because there is there is a actual plan that shows the original septic system on the property. And we're not sure that that was ever properly decommissioned at the time it was connected. And everything was tied in. So that's where we're at. So there's
and we
a
don't have
question
any
mark.
records of that in order to
Right,
validate it.
and right.
So when that sewer had these hookups, did the sewer committee have a record of everything they hooked up? Do you know,
That's
Gene?
up to you guys,
Yes.
before my time.
Yes, but who hooked them up?
That's right,
That's the question.
right. Right,
Right,
and what
right.
was it, was everything hooked up? So,
Also might
Because
not
I don't
have
have
hooked up.
any documents from the Board of Health
right,
side
so unless,
that indicates hookup to sewer occurred,
and
because we usually get notified, and we have documentation that, so,
Right,
showcase
right,
that.
and this is back when it was, but it was at 2000, what was it? when it was sold?
Years ago. Let me look up the sewer records for that one. I'm the secretary to the sewer and sanitation.
Other half.
By the
The
way,
other half,
So they.
so
they
I've been
keep
there
the
since
tank,
the
right? And it's
beginning
just the effluent
of
that
septic
goes.
systems.
The tanks are kept,
which tank?
No, well,
so
they're,
well, so there's,
everybody,
so,
everybody who's hooked up to the sewer. They
right,
still have their tanks.
but they're
right.
yeah,
filled.
but they have to
Filters.
be either crushed or filled,
Right.
well, pumped first, or you
Yeah.
abandoned in place, but
No, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. a minute. Does all the sewage go directly from the house to the plant?
To a
or-
pump,
no, to,
or-
it usually,
or do we
it
kept-
usually
or
goes,
does it go into the tank?
unless it's by gravity.
There's some gravity,
wait, we
some
talking
pump.
about,
Yeah, there's no tanks with that.
There's no
Yeah.
tanks,
No.
all the tanks.
Unless
are
it's a pump
eliminated.
but
chamber,
the pump.
unless they have the
Okay.
chamber
The
that,
grinder
Alright.
pump.
the grinder
So I
pump.
don't know why I was under the impression that everybody's supposed to
No.
have their tank. and
No,
the
no,
effluent went.
No,
Everything goes.
Everything,
Yes.
right,
But there's a question because of the difference in
Right,
elevation,
whether,
that this was possibly, and again, it's just possible, but there's some questions about whether that system was ever connected because of the elevations. That
okay,
are
And-
now becoming,
the town connected residents. Businesses were connected through
Oh.
their own,
private.
oh, really?
yes,
but they were supposed to, but they were supposed to be permitted by the town and
Right.
approved.
right,
Yeah, so that would be really
So
good
let
if
me
we have that
see
information.
what the records say. Okay,
Yeah, the other question I had about, that property was, we went, Kyle and fire and plumbing and gas and electrical, we went out there. To do, like a pre-operational inspection, just like a walkthrough, if you will. And I do recall that there was a question about, that they, that this. That it's not in use, there's no occupancy, and that they would be using a porta potty. In that regard, so. There was a question about whether or not, they would have to go ahead and change the bathroom design, and I said. That's a discussion for another time. Right now, I'm just focusing on the kitchen. And that's up to the building side, but I don't know if there's anything else that you guys. I mean, I haven't received a food plan review yet from them, so I don't know if there's anything that.
Yeah, but if the issue is if the issue is, there's a question of it, whether they're still using septic system, that would certainly be in the
Right, like a-
purview of the Board of Health.
because
Not-
on that
separate-
plan-
Separate, in the
Right,
separate. in the
because on
approved-
that plan, we saw that it stated that there was a cesspool.
Right.
And that there was.
That's exactly right.
And so what I wanted to ask was, what do we do from there? You know, do we require that there's a Title V inspection occur?
Require that they
Inspect,
inspect it, whoever, whether it's Title V or their plumber, their licensed plumber does an inspection either by it getting a, camera or a dye test. To make sure that system that was there is no longer being used.
Right.
And the board, I think you definitely would have to, and if they can prove that it's not being used, then fine, then it would be just a sewer,
Right,
But
So is
since we
there a
have, we
question-
have a question now about that, then I think it's certainly within the board's purview to make sure before any permits are granted,
so
final
should we
permits.
do some sort of enforcement action then?
Or I would send them a letter,
Okay,
send them a letter
Yeah.
from the Board of
how
Health.
can
if
you
they get
do
the
an
letter.
enforcement action unless you know what you're enforcing?
Yeah, we got, so
You
we're
don't
asking,
know,
yeah.
you can't accuse them of something.
we're
on-
just asking them to
Right.
show us that
Yeah.
it's not connected.
Right,
Documentation.
so we are gonna, so that's what I'm asking is,
Yeah.
so we are gonna. We are gonna go ahead and ask them informationally, what's the situation with
Yeah, I guess
what the
more,
claims are. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
well,
if they
we
can
require that
provide-
they have to provide
Right.
evidence that it's
provide
all together, yeah.
documentation or whatever. that-
Because of the situation that we faced, I mean, we wouldn't do this, it's unusual, but
Yeah.
the situation is
But
unusual.
we don't have, I'm saying, do we have any physical evidence or observations that would indicate that?
Isn't there an issue with the, isn't it some question about whether California is getting into the lake in that area?
yeah, it's cold in
That's what
here.
I'm saying.
How
do they? know?
again, there's the septic, the sewer implementation committee needs to have records
Okay, so we're
of
gonna
these
follow.
connections.
And
So
you-
let
you
me
actually
look
gonna
at
check-
those.
Yeah, let me
first.
check it,
Okay,
let
so
me
why don't
check
we
it
do
that,
that
fine,
then?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that?
fine.
Yeah.
Good.
And
if-
then, because they all have to have
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
documentation that shows
Absolutely.
who connected it, how,
Right.
in the whole 9 yards.
So I just wanted,
Let
I
me
just
look
wanna
at
make sure
that,
we're doing it
okay?
properly, that's all.
Oh,
We would,
Yeah.
So let's see-
I
look
think
at-
I'm
let's see what Gene
comfortable.
comes up with first.
yeah,
I'm comfortable that we certainly have the authority to do that as a board.
Oh,
of Health,
yeah.
Given the fact there's a question. And quite frankly, if the owner I would think the owner would want to make sure that
And
that was the
verify it.
case also. I
Right.
mean, I don't think the owner would want to have anything like that happen.
Exactly.
So I'm sure he'd be cooperative.
okay.
Do we have anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, so then we can adjourn the meeting
At 7:28, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
and I second
Good night,
that
Dee.
motion.
Good night, Dee. Thank you.
So Sue, yes.
Okay, Jean, yes, I'm ending the meeting for all.
It's not drums yet.